Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show. I'm Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the betting show for UFC Fight Night between Alexander Volkov and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We're going to talk two plays. Of course, we'll be talking the main event. And hey, listen, I know this isn't one of these high-caliber cards. I know a lot of people talk about that and say, hey, it's not a good card, it's not a good event, whatever it is. We're not here for entertainment purposes. We're here to make money, put our money in strong positions, and that's what we did 2 weeks ago. Everyone talked about Holly Holm versus Calavera card, not that great of a card, all these other things. We go out there, we went 4-0 last weekend, or I should say 2 weekends ago. About 15 units of profit for the evening. Big night overall, hit both of our 4% best bet plays, as well as 2 underdog plays as well. So big night for us overall. And I also did hit the Hero Parlay. Now, if you want to know what that is, you got to go check out my Twitter, @KyleAnthonyUFC. Basically, we collaborate on a massive parlay for a big payout. This payout was the odds of plus 4,944. We cashed that in as well, too. So we're having a good time, and we're making money at the same time here. But like I always say, that's in the past. We're up a lot. We're doing great this year. And over the last 5 years, I've been one of the top 5 profit earners in all of Wager Talk. So listen, you've come to the right place if you're looking for MMA. So we're going to be talking main event. Actually, you know what? Before I do get into that, I do want to also say, I did announce it on Twitter, that I will be appearing on UFC On the Line on UFC Fight Pass in July. I'll be a part of 2 episodes there. Got contacted by the UFC, so excited about that opportunity. Got some of the things that are going to be going on, as well as I'm going to be starting a weekly MMA podcast with somebody else. And it's going to be a little bit different overall, maybe some interviews and some other things kind of getting in there. So that will be happening end of August. So that's the thing about it. So let's get into the main event of the evening between Alexander Volkov and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We're going to be talking right now. We've got the line minus 165 for Volkov. On the other side, we've got Rozenstruik around plus 130. So like we always do here, we're going to talk about 3 fights for each fighter, see what we see if one fighter can expose the other fighter, and if the line makes sense to place a wager. So we're going to first talk about Alexander Volkov. Now, 3 fights ago, he fought Ciryl Gane. Now, this was an interesting fight, and the fact that you had 2 guys, 2 kickboxers, 2 guys with high accolades, rangy, big guys, and this really just showed the level of striking that Gane has. I mean, Gane went out there, he was comfortable, he just stayed in the, stayed in the pocket, bounced back out, stayed in the pocket a little bit, threw some shots, bounced back out. Volkov just couldn't get in a rhythm. He really was struggling overall. He was not able to really, cut distance, work the angles, and just overall out of rhythm. And that's just what Gane does. He's very light on his feet, bouncing in and out. Volkov just could not really kind of plant his feet, dig in, fire. That's kind of the way that he is. He's definitely a slower moving guy. He's 6'7", large, massive dude. But, Gane just really on the balls of his feet, bouncing around, firing kicks out at all different angles, very much, much more quicker, faster developing combinations. Volkov really was just lost, I gotta say, throughout that fight there. He just didn't seem like he was really getting into rhythm there. But Gane goes out there and gets a decision victory. 2 fights ago, Volkov fought Marcin Tybura. Tybura was a big underdog in this spot here, but this interesting part about this is the way Tybura fights. Now, Tybura is the kind of guy that he's going to look to push forward. He's not scared to get up in your face because he's looking for the takedowns. He's looking for the dirty boxing. That's going to be his path, takedowns, ground and pound. And he was trying to do that with Volkov in this fight. He was pushing forward a lot, going for these takedowns, and Volkov did a fantastic job just defending these takedowns. Some of these takedowns a little bit sloppy from Tybura, but did a great job. Now he gets, Volkov gets this bad rep because he really looked bad against Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades obviously is next level when it comes to takedown and wrestling. Best, I guess, one of the top wrestlers in the UFC right now in the heavyweight division. But this was a spot here where he was defending enough. He was doing that, and then there was a spot early in that first round. Volkov reversed or kind of defended a takedown, got on top of Tybura. Tybura unable to get up from there. But in that second round, you did see a tick down from both of them pace-wise. Output-wise, there wasn't as much, but again, you definitely saw Volkov blocking the takedowns, defending, countering, moving, utilizing his range a little bit, and that really helped him set up into that third round. It looked pretty good for, the tide started to swing a little bit towards Tybura, but boy did Volkov dig deep late in that third round, landed some big shots, but he defended 14 of 14 takedowns from Tybura in that fight. Really impressive for him overall there, but again, a very slow-paced fight, but it looked good, got the job done. Volkov gets the victory via decision. And most recently, Volkov fought Tom Aspinall. Now, this one here, I mean, boy, does Aspinall look fantastic. I mean, this guy really, you see elevation. Each fight, he is massively improving his skill set, and this was a fight here where showed fantastic striking, hand speed, moving around the cage. Again, like Gane, very light-footed for a big guy, very light-footed, bouncing around the cage. And right away, Aspinall gets a takedown, gets Volkov to the ground, and again, Volkov definitely does not have bad takedown defense, and he went out there, took him right down, big ground and pound, and again, Aspinall just so confident, comfortable. He was on top, looking at his corner, getting advice from his corner, implementing what he was getting from the corner. Really just a great showing from him. But then he gets back up. Volkov somehow works to his feet, was really battered up, and from there, another quick takedown. Dodged a shot from Volkov, level change, boom, got him down. From there, he gets a submission victory in the first round, so Volkov loses there. On the other side, we've got Jairzinho, Rozenstruik here, and three fights ago, he fought Cyril Gane, and this is another situation where you just see how good Gane is. You just see how good he is, what he can do, how he works, and this was another spot here where the movement, everything that he did, just you couldn't really even get an opportunity where you would really see Rozenstruik have any success. The corner was yelling at him. He wasn't throwing. That's one thing that you do see over his career is Rozenstruik is a very low volume guy. Doesn't really keep volume, isn't his high pressure guy. He's very comfortable being in the center of the cage, exchanging shots, looking to counter, and kind of just allowing the fight to come to him. But this was a spot here where it was the wrong game plan, where you've got somebody like Gane who's going to have the activity, who's going to have the movement, picked him apart over 5 rounds, won every single round Gane did. So he goes out there and Jairzinho loses against Gane. And then 2 fights ago, he fought Augusto Sakai. This was a fight here where, again, it wasn't much volume from Rozenstruik. And this is still a first-round knockout win for Rozenstruik. So, it's very odd the way this fight laid out here. There was, early, both of them pitter-pattering shots, circling, a 1-2 punch combination, moving around, action very low here, but with very minimal time left in that first round. Jairzinho lands a nice hook, drops Sakai, ends the fight. Not much to really break down here, but again, it was another fight, even with the knockout victory in the first round, another fight where Rozenstruik had low volume, but he goes out there and he gets the first round knockout. 3 fights, most recently, he fought Curtis Blaydes. Now, against Curtis Blaydes here, you can't fault him here either. Rozenstruik has a clear issue with takedown defense. It's definitely his Achilles heel when it comes to when he's fighting grapplers. Bad matchup for him overall. Really, it was 3 rounds of Blaydes getting the takedown, working from top position, keeping it there. I really thought that maybe there was opportunity for Blaydes to kind of get the finish in that fight, but it was, again, this was just a really big lopsided fight for Rozenstruik. He loses all 3 rounds. Not going to dive into that one too much there. So there you have it there. He loses against Curtis Blaydes. Now, with that being said, the first thing here that we have to talk about is both of these guys extremely low volume, extremely low pace. And I think that does help Volkov more. And I'm going to get into that a little bit, but I think that kind of pace helps him, where both of these guys kind of work from the outside. They're, you've got Volkov's a little bit more rangy, and this is going to be really a glorified kickboxing match. Don't really expect any takedown attempts. Don't really expect too much clinching. It's going to be the smaller cage, so maybe some of that, but again, you're going to see 2 guys that are going to stay at range, and they're going to be striking. Now, the part of this that I think one vehicle of this is the fact that Rozenstruik likes to throw leg kicks. He likes to start out, set up his offense with that, snap it out there. He doesn't throw it with too much power, but he likes to throw it out there. And this really, actually, Volkov is very good at checking. We've seen him over many of his fights, really good at checking. And one of the things that he's able to do when he's fighting somebody who's just a pure striker is he's more comfortable. He's not worried about those takedowns. And same thing with Rozenstruik too. You got to give him, obviously on that side too, he's going to be more comfortable. So I think even the checking the leg kicks is going to help Volkov set up his offense. But I think the one part of this also is the fact that I don't really see Jairzinho over 5 rounds just outright outstriking Volkov for 5 rounds. I don't really see that this, if it goes to a decision, I really think it's going to be Volkov who's going to have the points, going to have the activity, going to land the bigger shots, going to land the more damaging shots, where you've got somebody like Rozenstruik, and again, they are both very, very, very low volume, but I just don't think that he can sit and have enough volume to beat Volkov over the 5 rounds. So really the one spot for him here where he could win is a knockout. Now he does have the power. He's definitely a guy that has that power. But if you look at it, Volkov has a chin. And if Rozenstruik's only path is going to be a knockout, at least in my opinion, it's going to be tough. Volkov, he got knocked out against, Derek Lewis, but that's Derek Lewis. And and that was late in the fight. I just don't think that this is a spot where Rozenstruik is going to have success over the long period, over the short period. I think that's going to hurt him a lot. And I think another big part of this is that front kick that Volkov fires. It's really, really a tricky shot. He snaps it out pretty quickly. For a big guy, he snaps it out pretty quickly. And I think this is going to be there. This shot is going to be there. Not saying it's going to be a fight-ending shot, but I think that really sets up his offense, where Jairzinho likes to really set up his offense with a leg kick, maybe some combinations. Now Volkov is able to check that and fire off that front kick. I think that starts to help him wear down on a guy that may start slowing down, working the body, investing in the body, slowing him down later in the fight. I definitely think that the low volume is going to allow opportunities for Volkov to land. And then finally, I really think the size discrepancy is going to be big here. I mean, they've got our Jairzinho, who they say he's 6'2". I'm not really too sure about that. When they have him face off against other people, he looks a little bit shorter than 6'2". But you've got Volkov, who's going to be 6'7". He's going to have a little bit of a reach advantage here. I think, and again, once you get to the fight, Volkov's going to be even bigger of a guy as well, too. So you got a guy who's that big with some power, and you've got somebody like Rozenstruik, who is so hesitant when he's in the pocket. So now you've got a guy who's much bigger than him. Not that he's Francis Ngannou by any means, but the fact that I think that's going to keep Rozenstruik even more hesitant in this fight here. So I do like Alexander Volkov to go out there, get this victory at -165. I think he's got the tools to do it. I think that Rozenstruik's volume is just so poor, so low. I think he's going to be there to be hit. I think the bigger shots are going to come from Volkov. So I like Alexander Volkov -165 as my free play. And the next fight we're going to be talking about is Evloev versus Dan Ige. We got right now, Evloev is a massive -440. We've got Dan Ige +310. Gonna run this one quickly here for you. So the first thing here is you've got Dan Ige. Guy's are scrappy. There's no doubt about it. He's a scrappy fighter. He's got grappling ability. He's got some wrestling, quick hands. He's shown to have some decent power, but he's very durable. You've seen him in battles. You've seen him in wars. You've seen him take a lot of beatings and keep moving forward. So he definitely has that to him there. But, the biggest issue for me here on Dan Ige's side is even though he has wrestling, he's been able to be taken down many times, and he's also been controlled from top position in certain fights there. We've even seen Korean Zombie control him from top position, keep him there, and you've got someone like Evloev who just is really next level when it comes to his grappling, his top control, his ability, this great undefeated fighter that really, I think the UFC kind of wants to keep him moving up the ranks there. But people really talk about that Dan Ige does have this, he's got this power. Dan Ige has 2 knockout victories in his UFC career. Again, some nice ones. But to me, this is a spot where Evloev can smother him, push him up against the fence, keep him there, work for takedowns. And also you have the fact that Evloev is gonna push a big pace. He's gonna push a big pace, he's gonna keep it there, and that's somewhere where I think he could smother up Ige as well too. So I don't really think that you're gonna see Ige have a lot of success. You know, at distance, he's going to have the sharper striking. He's going to have some good movement. Evloev is slowly getting better there, but to me, smaller cage again, think that's going to help Evloev as well. And Ige not good on his from bottom. When you've got an opportunity for Evloev to get the top control, Dan struggles to try to get up, move around, scramble. Again, he's a scrappy guy. He's able to kind of fire some good shots and maybe cause some damage. But I think through this fight, I think it's really going to start tilting more towards Evloev in this fight here. So for me here, I'm going to be going Evloev, and the biggest reason is I want to get off that minus 440 number. We're going to make this minus 150. I like Evloev via points, minus 150. I think the durability is there for Dan Ige, as well as his scrambling ability, and he's scrappy. I think he can at least last into the decision, but I like Evloev to get this victory here. So as my other free play, I'm going Evloev via points, minus 150. So there you have it for my free plays for UFC Fight Night this Saturday. It starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget that. If you want to take a look at my client plays, link down in the description. And let's keep this going, man. We are fucking up the bookies. This is Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show, and I'll see you next time.